but we lived in the country. Like, you still live in the country. Why don't you just go out and do what you want? Why don't you just go out for a walk? They wouldn't even go out for walks, or the government said, we got to stay in the house. We can't go. I said, why? And she said, well, Kira, the snitches.
This is the Talk Down.
Woman facing assault with a weapon charge says she was having a water gun fight with a child. Sorry, I just stole your headline.
That's all right. You want to keep reading?
Sure. You're going to be doing all the headlines next anyway.
All right.
A Simcoe, Ontario woman, so I guess she's Canadian, facing a charge of assault with a weapon. I didn't know that they were allowed to shoot squirt guns in Canada.
Well, we're going to find out they're not.
Over an incident where she says she accidentally struck a neighbor in the chest with water from a child's water gun. Ontario Provincial Police say 58-year-old Wendy Washik was taken into custody after an investigation on Sunday, September 1st. OPP say police determined 2 people were involved in a dispute, resulted in the victim being physically assaulted, but no injuries were reported.
Physical assault? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Just so you know.
Is that okay, Ethan?
All the jokes that say JT3 on them, that's our buddy Johnny Tuts. He's pitching them to us. It's your choice if you want to say them or not. I'm just saying.
I thought this was a good pun.
Yeah, it's a good one, Johnny.
I thought what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm sorry. I didn't deliver it as well, but I thought it was an excellent pun. I actually really do like puns. I don't like Ethan's puns. I actually do like puns.
Well, it hurt.
I'm kidding. I love Ethan's puns.
I feel punished. Washik says she was having a playful water gun fight with a child at a party when she accidentally sprayed the water in a neighbor's chest. Oh, trying to imagine the noise he made. The guy who calls the cops when he gets shot in the chest. Oh,
I think. Oh no!
I apologized several times. I'm trying to do my Canadian voice. I don't know. He wouldn't listen to me, and he was screaming at me. She says
Minnesota, but
yeah, Minnesota. I don't know. She says that despite her apologies, the man called police, which ultimately led to her being charged.
Wow.
Has to confirm the weapon used was a water gun. Yeah, we know the guy's soaking wet, but can we make sure it really is water gun and not an actual AK-47?
Which are illegal in Canada.
Which, aren't all guns?
Yes.
Well, no, there's hunting, right?
You can have a hunting rifle.
OPP spokesperson, Constable, right?
Yeah, Constable.
Andrew Gamble says it would be inappropriate to comment on specifics of the case. Oh my gosh. Washik said police didn't ask me a single question. Yeah. I can't do Canadian. They didn't ask to see the water gun. Not one question asked.
It would be like,
my husband was in disbelief.
Me.
Oh yeah, who's?
They didn't ask me a single question.
Not one question asked. Yeah, I can't do it. They say who's. I only say for house. They say who's, and they say a boot. The water gun belonged to the child she was playing with, and was no bigger than the length of her elbow to the tip, from her elbow to the tip of her finger. She said. Washik, that's a pretty big gun. Washik said the situation was put. I love that their name is Washik, like the word wash is in there, and she got in trouble for squirting out of the water. I love these little ironies. Put a strain on her family. They're really drained, and but she's astounded by the support she's received from the squirt gun community. Just kidding. From friends and family. I added that. People I haven't talked to for probably 10 to 15 years have reached out, she said. I think without that, it would have been much, much harder.
Well, when I was first reading this story, I didn't even have to know where the person was from. I saw there was a U in the word neighbor, and I knew it was Canadian, and that's all you had to say.
Right.
And yet the Canadians arrested someone for spraying a squirt gun? Yep, sounds about right.
They probably just they've seen that the gun emoji is a squirt gun. They just don't know the difference anymore. Things are just.
Canadians don't know.
I am really curious what the hell's going on with this story, though. How can anybody be this stupid?
To arrest which person? The person that got
shot? The police, the guy that called the police. Everyone's going on.
Canada.
It feels like a Black Mirror episode.
Canada.
I was going to say something bad.
I know. It's like a black what? A black what? Please continue, Ethan. Tell us.
Black.
I was up in Canada last summer. I'm Canadian. I don't go back very much. I left at 18.
You're like the Netflix version of Anne of Green Gables.
Am I? Yeah.
You're from St. Edward's Island, Prince Edward Island, right?
Fake. Yeah, I hate that show. Anyway.
Oh, the Netflix one?
Yeah.
Oh, they actually did make one as a joke. Yeah.
They did make one.
It's not good?
No, it's not. I didn't like it. And it's not even shot.
My daughter's super into Anne of Green Gables right now. I'm reading it to her. Yeah.
Oh, I'll send her some pictures. I was just up on the island last summer. Yeah. And we went back. I haven't been back in 15 years. Yeah, I've been to Canada, but not home there. And I hadn't been back certainly since COVID. And where I'm from, it's an island, Prince Edward Island. It's a small island, 140,000 people, I think now, and 125 miles end to end. So it's just a series of small towns. And when I was catching up with everybody to hear their COVID experience and we were comparing, I was absolutely shocked. And they're still suffering. They're still
like masking up on that little island?
People are still masking. Wow. It's not.
Is that all Canada or
everywhere.
just
Canada itself? Yeah, it's pretty much all the same. But that island in particular was disturbing because it's a rural island, and yet people were COVID had so isolated those people. When I went, I was shocked at how I was like, "Oh, let's go see so and so." Oh, we haven't talked in 4 years. What? He lives 5 miles away from you. Well, we don't go out. So I was talking to some friends. And they were talking about how we couldn't go outside. We couldn't even, have a barbecue on our deck or anything. Now, these are people who live in the country.
Yeah, like they're who's going to catch you?
Right. That's what I said. So this is what I said to my friend.
Such obedient
I said, what are you talking about? But we lived in the country. Like, you still live in the country. Why don't you just go out and do what you want? Why don't you just go out for a walk? They wouldn't even go out for walks. Or the government said, we got to stay in the house. We can't go. I said, why? And she said, well, Kira, the snitches. You had to
snitches.
So it's just Canada.
They don't get stitches in Canada. That's a problem.
And that's so funny you say that, because when she said that, the thought that came to my mind was, wow, I never really considered what an underlying premise of American life it is that snitches get stitches. But it's sort of this underlying premise that we all have this agreed upon thing. Like, you don't snitch. There are snitches, but we hate them. We call them Karens. We have a name for them.
Right.
But anyways, so to hear that Canada arrested someone for squirting their neighbor with water, it seems right on par with what's going on up there.
I'd have been COVID in that water. I've never said this to anybody. I briefly lived in Canada at a time I don't remember, when I was really young, in a town called Salmon Arm. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay.
Where is it?
Somewhere on the. It's right. I think it's right over from Washington, because my dad.
Like British Columbia.
Yeah, because my dad.
Look it up.
My dad had fled. He had draft dodged.
Mine too.
And that's why he lived in Canada for a little while.
That's how I got here.
Because he grew up in Washington, so he just went over the river and stayed up there.
Salmon.
So he took us back there, because I guess he had some good memories there, and lived in Salmon Arm.
Salmon Arm, British Columbia. The small city, big ideas.
Okay. Anyway. Oh man, that was a good video. You should check out our channel for more great videos from the Talk Down, and go to thetalkdown.com and maybe become a subscriber or something.
If you like being talked down to, subscribe to the Talk Down. Do it.